from Jersey in the house? How about Philly? East Coast? All right. Well, thank you for coming out here today in support of legalizing cannabis. This is a global movement, all races, all colors, all ages, no borders. So I became involved in media and activism because I actually came to New York back in 2003 to join the anti-war effort. And there were hundreds of thousands of people down in the streets of New York City, and there was no media coverage of this growing opposition to the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Right, there was a media blackout. And so I realized at that point that I needed to join the independent media movement and start telling the truth, not just about the war, but about cannabis and mass incarceration and money in politics. And so I started WPPM 106.5 FM in Philadelphia, and we have the only show on the FM radio in our area about cannabis. So every week our listeners get to hear the truth about cannabis, because a big part of the reason that people believe certain things about the drug war and cannabis is because of the Reefer Madness campaign that was started over 60 years ago and continues today. That's right. Corporate media, right? It's not good. It doesn't tell the truth. And we really feel it's important to tell the stories of all the people that have been victimized by the drug war, especially Black and Latino people who are disproportionately arrested, profiled, and abused at the hands of the police and the racist criminal justice system. That's right. So one of the other things we wanted to feature were the voices of patients, the people that have been healed by this amazing plant that has so much medical value. How is it that cannabis is a Schedule I drug with no medicinal value according to the federal government, yet they have a patent on medical marijuana and distribute medical marijuana joints every month to patients? How is that possible? A lot of people don't know that, but it's true. Look it up. U.S. government holds a patent on medical marijuana. And these are the things that people like to know. We also feature on our show all the people that have been successful in joining the cannabis industry and this billion-dollar green economy that we want to be a part of. This green market is not just for West Coast white people, but East Coast people of color also want a piece of this pie. And not only do we want a piece of the pie, we want the whole damn bakery. If people of color are the most oppressed and impacted by the drug war, how is it that over 90% of the cannabis market is controlled by white people? It's not fair. So we talk to people about how to make our cannabis industry more equitable, and that's really important in New York, New Jersey, and PA, as these bills are being put forward to exclude us from that market. People need to pay attention. We can't let Wall Street or these corporations take over our plant and this industry. We need to be able to grow, home grow. And the people that best know how to grow cannabis are sitting in jail right now, serving long sentences.
We are celebrating!
How is it that people are serving 10 to 20 years in prison just for growing a plant?
We are celebrating!
So we really need to advocate and continue on this path. We need to unite, all of us, parents of children that have medical issues, people who are incarcerated, business owners, people that are patients, just people who are from the community. This is something that impacts all of us. We can't continue to waste resources on this racist drug war that has had negative outcomes in our community.
We get to celebrate.
As we approach the midterms and elections, show up, ask them, what is your position on cannabis legalization? And we need to end the reefer madness and legalize cannabis here, there, everywhere. Thank you so much. Legalize New York.
Vanessa Graber, y'all. Check her out. Fully Baked Radio. Please check her out. Alright, to keep the show going, next up we have the OG of OGs. We have one of the co-founders of the original Yippee Smokin', one of the founding members of the Global Marijuana March. Do I really have to say more? Dana Beal!
Thank you. Actually, they were going to have a Turn Yourself In Day, but we decided to have a Million Marijuana March instead. Because there's a million of us, they can't arrest us. 50 years ago, we stood up and we came out into the streets, hundreds of regular people, not celebrities from the Merv Griffith show, but actual people from the Lower East Side came out into the first smoke-ins. And we institutionalized this as the annual pot parade. It's been going on ever since. Well, now that Rudy Giuliani has a job again, I think it's wise to remember people that he banned this event. In 1997, he said there isn't going to be any more pot parade in New York City. And we issued a global call to rise up in every city of the globe and to do a global marijuana march. And pretty soon in London, we had tens of thousands of people, and we said, didn't we have a revolution in this country to get rid of the Queen of England? How come they have more rights in Britain than we have under the Bill of Rights? There's something wrong with this picture. And Giuliani ultimately lost the argument. It took a few years. We had hundreds of arrests, but there are no arrests today at this event. Now, Giuliani would like to get in and replace Jeff Sessions. And if he did that, the guy is just crazy enough to bring back the war on drugs. So I want to tell you just a few things, right, that we demanded as a result of living under Rudy Giuliani in the worldwide marijuana march. Number one, stop all cannabis arrests. If Lucky Luciano is busted, you can get him for running a string of whores, you can get him for the murders, you can get him for dealing heroin, but even Lucky Luciano cannot go to jail for a joint. You can be totally guilty, but they cannot use marijuana as a criminal charge because marijuana is not guilty. Marijuana is not guilty of anything. Marijuana is the safest, therapeutically active substance known to man. Number two, release the medicine. You got to release the medicine. And not just marijuana. There's some other things that fell under Schedule 1. By the way, you know where Schedule 1 came from? It came from John Mitchell writing for Richard Nixon a law that was intended to be able to beat the next legal challenge. And they've been running us around through this stuff of like, oh, you put in for 6 years, you put in application to legalize pot, right? And finally, we're turning you down again for the same reasons as before. And it always, basically the DEA administrator can overrule the judge. The only place in the federal government where the administrator overrules the judge. This is Richard Nixon's dream, right? We have to release MDMA for PTSD. We have to release Ibogaine for treating heroin, for Parkinson's in low doses, for stroke damage. We have to release psilocybin. Did you know that psilocybin is a cure for cigarette addiction? My friend Dennis Perone in California, the man who wrote Proposition 215, just died from COPD because he couldn't get the carbon dioxide out of his bloodstream fast enough. Cigarettes kill. So there's a bunch of other things that should be released. And the prison state. I'm talking about 1 million people in prison. I was in jail for medical marijuana in Wisconsin. Wisconsin, funny thing, it only has 3% black people in the whole state. They're in Milwaukee and Madison. They had 70% black people in the prison. There's something really wrong with this picture, you know? We have to end the prison industrial complex. We have to end the drug war. That means the people who prosecuted this war, as far as I'm concerned, we do not owe them a pension. We do not owe them a job. They're guilty. They were part of a scheme to falsely imprison millions of people and lie about it systematically and make up shit. And end the drug war. You gotta end the war finally. Sometime it has to end. So these were our demands. And they were because of Rudy Giuliani. And I don't know what's going to happen now. It seems like there's just like this little narrow thread. Like Donald Trump woke up this morning and he decided he was mad at Jeff Sessions. So, you know, right now we're not going to recrim pot. Is that in writing? Is it like a presidential order to deschedule marijuana? Because I'm afraid unless it's a presidential order to deschedule marijuana, it's not good. So, right now, I'm really happy that this is bigger than last year. I want to apologize to Giant Joint needed work. We needed to get indoor space, so we couldn't get it until Thursday morning, and it just couldn't be organized, but we'll have it back. New, bigger, better Giant Joint next year. And I hope that all of you can go back and get 10 times as many people to come back next year. And let's make this a big parade in New York City. I like the size of it this year. Good to see the union people are here. I tried to get you guys. I don't know, the intermediary. Didn't have any self-confidence. You just wouldn't go talk to the union. Good idea. Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Dana Beal.
Thank you so much, Dana, for your continuous work. Yeah. So next up, I have Chris Alexander, the Policy Director of Drug Policy Alliance. Come on up, Chris. He'll be here to talk to you about the Start Smart campaign here in New York to legalize, tax, and regulate cannabis.
How's everybody doing? Good afternoon, New York. What's going on? Can we do this one more time? I heard this chant on the way here. I loved it. I want to hear it one more time. Can we hear it? Can we hear it? It said, no more drug war. When I say no more, you say drug war. No more. No more. No more. We at the Drug Policy Alliance have been working with groups who are in the audience, who participated in the parade, to end marijuana prohibition in New York for a very long time. And we are so thankful and so excited to see so many new voices, so many new faces being a part of this movement. Because what we've been saying, and our brothers at CCA would agree with this, was that this movement is about more than legalizing a plant. This movement is about more than freeing the weed. This movement is about ending disproportionate arrests, ending racial bias in policing, allowing patient access to a plant that for some is the best thing in the world. much more than free in the weed. We thank y'all all for coming out today. What I'm here to provide for you is the avenue of how you can get involved to making sure this happens. The Drug Policy Alliance, Cannabis Cultural Association, Empire State Normal, groups who are in the crowd today have joined together to start a campaign. That campaign is called Start Smart New York. Start Smart New York. Can y'all say that with me? Start Smart New York. Start Smart New York. Start Smart New York. There we go. I'm going fast. What we are about is making sure that we're putting people who've been impacted by prohibition in front of the elected officials who have for so long turned their back on this issue, who have for so long said that this issue wasn't something they were interested in. Now we got candidates running for governor, running for city council, running for Congress, talking about marijuana legalization. And we're here for it. But the thing that they have to remember is this is about more. This is about ending the policies of stop and frisk. This is about reducing the disparities in those who are arrested and making sure that everybody in this audience, black and brown people, are able to take part in this multi-billion-dollar industry. Councilmember Williams came up and talked about clearing records. That is imperative. But what else is imperative? Making sure that we have an opportunity to access this industry. If you're interested in learning more, please come check us. We're over there in the corner, the Start Smart table and the Drug Policy Alliance. Come over there and learn more about what you can do to get involved. On Tuesday, so you got the first opportunity. On Tuesday, May 8th, we're gonna be taking people from the city of New York, from the city of Buffalo, from Rochester and Syracuse to Albany, New York. And we're gonna bang on the governor's door, and we're gonna tell him that he needs to end marijuana prohibition right now. Right now, not tomorrow, we're not holding anymore, we're not waiting anymore. It's time to end marijuana prohibition in the state of New York right now, and I think we can do it with your help. Come check us out, we'll be over there, Start Smart New York. Thank you, CCA.
Thank you so much, Chris. I think it's to remember that this is bigger than just us. It's bigger than one policy. This is about ensuring continuous work needs to be done. Even after we legalize, we want to ensure there is equity, there is tangible actions for people of color, for disenfranchised communities to take place in legal cannabis. This is fun. I'm loving the energy out here. How y'all feeling? I'm loving it. So next up, we're gonna have a little kind of like turn of course. We're gonna have some laughs in for the day. Comedian, all around stand-up comedian. He has a new album on Spotify. Rob Cantrell, get on up here. Love this shirt, by the way, too, man.
Thank you, Stop Wars all day. New York City, make some noise, everybody! Do you want weed legal? No, I want you to say hell yes. Do you want weed legal? Right here, right now. It should be legal right now. You know it. I know it. Oh, look. Beautiful day here at Union Square. Let's give it a round of applause for Steve Bloom, the organizer, everybody. Big shout out for New York's original Steve Bloom. We're here at Union Square, back to the old school. Let's take it back to Union Square. Let's take weed back to the Union Square. I don't even drink alcohol. I love pot so much, everybody. I just drink seltzer water and coffee and weed. Coffee and weed all day long. I'm scared and jittery all day long. That's it. Scared, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm 45 years old, everybody. I'm married, I got a kid. I could die any minute. I'm old, I'm freebasing fish oil. But I'm smoking weed, I'm doing push-ups. What you guys know about push-ups? All day. I'm not trying to brag, I do like 12 to 23 push-ups a day. What's that? How many? I only got one kid. That's enough. Yeah, I'm a real man. I had real sex. Had sex to make a baby. Just shooting nuts right into the Death Star. All right, that was a little blue for this 1 o'clock crowd. We'll bring it back around. Stop yelling at me, man. I love you. I love. New York should be legal. I just got back from California, where it's completely legal. One of the most beautiful states. If you're a stoner, go out there. I took an Uber pool to the dispensary. I took the super Uber pool. They put dudes on the trunk. They put dudes on the roof. We went right there and I bought weed. I bought joints. 1 gram joints. Came back. Drank some coffee. Had some weed. But I'm glad to be here because I want to talk about. I've been in New York since 2005. I got arrested in 2007 in the Lower East Side for a joint this big. I did 3 nights in jail in 2007 on a Friday night for half a roach. And this is a true story. It was right behind the Parkside Lounge. I did a comedy show, and then after the comedy show was a band, right? And there was a guitarist in the band. He was like, "Hey Rob, I got a joint." So we went out back. It was 12:30 at night, and I'm sitting there getting high with this dude. I've never met him before. And I'm smoking the joint, and he ends up being a professional violinist. This guy's a symphony playing violinist. And I'm getting high, and I'm asking him dumb questions because I'm just high. I'm just like, "Oh man, the violin's trippy. It's like a guitar that you rub with a stick. Why you gotta rub with it with a stick, man?" And right when I'm finishing the approach, these 2 people come up to us. This is 2007, Parkside Lounge, Lower East Side. Word to God, this happened. Right when I'm finishing the roach, these 2 dudes walk up to us in regular clothes, and I sense some shit's going down, right? And they pull badges from under their shirt. They're like up against the wall. I'm like, "Oh shit!" All right? I've never been arrested before. When I get around cops, I get official, right? When I'm around cops, I act like I just got out of the military. Because I just start saying the word "sir" like every 3 words. That's my move around cops. I just stick my chest out and start "sirring it up." They're like, "Are you smoking any weed?" "No, sir." "No, sir. No weed, sir." Right? Just start "sirring it up." I'm like, "I said sir, leave me alone. It's Friday night, no weed, sir." But they bust us, right? Getting serious criminals off the street. Rob Cantrell graduated from community college with a 1.9 GPA and a violinist. And they cuffed me up and they put me in the back of the cop van, and it's really stressful, so thank God I'm stoned. And so this is the weekend, right? So this is Friday night. Right now it's 11:30 when this goes down. And the cop's like, "We can't take you to the local precinct tonight, Rob. We gotta take you to the Tombs." Do you guys know about the Tombs, New York City? That's a federal holding cell, right? That's where you go right before Rikers. That's some Law and Order gong gong type of shit. When you hear the Tombs, it ain't nice. And this is Friday night. They said, "Rob, you gotta go to the Tombs," right? And I had this red sweatshirt on. They took my belt, right? They took my shoelaces. That's how bad the Tombs are. You'll hang yourself with your shoelace. You're like, "I'm not doing this. Where's my shoelace?" They take your shoelaces, and then I had a gig in Chicago. I was in a play called The Marijuana Log, and I was gonna make $800. I was gonna make $800 for this gig. I was gonna make my rent, and I was going to jail. I didn't have any money for a lawyer. I was gonna lose my rent. I was gonna lose my job. And they said, "Rob," and and this is 2007, so I had my iPhone and my iPod. This is before they came together, right? And so the dudes were like, "Before you go to the Tombs, you gotta call somebody to come down here and get your cell phone before you go into the jail." And I needed my cell phone to call the agent to make the gig to Chicago. And I was scared. I was so scared. I was about to cry. And I was living with my girl at the time, right? And my girl's got, my girl doesn't even smoke weed, all right? She's got like a job. She writes thank you notes, right? So I had to call her up in the middle of the night and I need somebody to get my cell phone. So I'm almost crying and I'm calling her. It was like, bring. Hello? I was like, Ann? She was like, Rob? I was like, Ann? Rob, are you all right? Ann? Ann, I just want you to know, I love you, and I want to marry you. But first you gotta come down to jail, get my cell phone and iPod. Right, so she comes down there, because she's a down-ass bitch. She comes and gets my phone before I go to the Tombs for a half a joint. And I'm going in, they got my belt, they got my shoelaces. Now the Tombs is 7 cells stacked on the top of each other. The end of Manhattan. I'm going in. I'm going to cell. 50 dudes in each cell. The whole system's completely racist. It's 95% black. It's arresting for weed and all this ridiculousness, right? And I'm just sitting there scared out of my mind, just like, don't tell these dudes you were the violinist, all right? Don't say nothing. And I had these glasses on, and I had a red sweatshirt. I had these big, thick glasses on, and I got a red sweatshirt, and I'm about to go into the Tombs. And I walk in, everybody eyes me up. The whole jail eyes me up. And this one Rastafari in the back, a real Rastafari. And this dude wasn't singing Bob Marley. He wasn't singing Don't Worry About a Thing. He was singing Buju Banton, all right? This is Peter Tosh burning and looting. And he just eyes me up in a thick Jamaican accent. He goes, yo, I found him. There's Waldo. And the whole jail started laughing, even the cops. And that's what happened to me. I made it through those 3 nights for weed that, for just a half a joint, they could take your life. They could take control of your soul. They could take your life for something that smells the most beautiful thing on this earth. Is there any better smell than weed in the world? Why is that legal? It's beautiful. But I just want you to tell you the rest of this real quick. I made my gig in Chicago. I did the 3 nights. I signed their little petition. Made the gig in Chicago. Made my rent. I married Ann. I married her. We have a kid, a 6-year-old kid. And that's all because of weed, everybody. I got love in my heart, and so do you, New York City. One love. Peace, peace.
Thank you so much. Keep the laughs going, man.
Yo, buy my album on Spotify. I just released it. It's recorded at Pete's Candy Shop in Brooklyn. It's on Spotify. Rob Cantrell. Just play it, and that's 10 cents to my daughter. So thank you very much. Peace, love, keep smoking.
Thank you. Check him out on Spotify. So to keep the show going and keep the culture vibrant, we're going to have the founder of Jade Insights and Dutch Compass, and as well as the founder of On the Rebel, a cannabis tech-based event group that will pretty much update you on all things cannabis innovative related. Jacoby Holland!
Thank you, Jake. What's up, New York? Come on, give me some love out here with the Cannabis Parade. What's up, New York? Oh man, this place is beautiful. This place is beautiful. So many people out here to support this plant. You know, it is the most beautiful, healing, powerful thing I have ever seen in my life is marijuana. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about who I am and why I'm up here. See, I'm an entrepreneur in the cannabis space. Tech specifically, we host events, and the reason I'm here speaking to you is because I'm a minority in this space. I am one of the few. To every single business, cannabis business event I go to, it's me. There's a couple out there. I see Ronnie. Shout out to Women Grow, they're there. But there is not enough. No, there you are, there you are. But there is not enough diversity in this industry. And then there's tons of problems, don't get me wrong, but I'm here to tell you as a tech entrepreneur, as an events entrepreneur, as a cannabis entrepreneur, we need more people that look like you guys. We are not being included, and this is extremely important. This is a chance to make an economic difference in our communities. So we need to get involved. We need to be professional about how we do it. This is our opportunity. And just by being here and supporting this movement, you are making a difference. So make some noise for yourself. My other company, Rebel, we host an educational series, all things cannabis technology. If you are interested in how you can get involved on the ground floor, if you want to understand how they're growing cannabis at an industrial level, come talk to me. Come see what Rebel is about. We are trying to provide education, especially to the minorities that want to get involved with this industry. Support all of the advocacy groups. You know, as an entrepreneur, you must speak up, and that's what I'm doing here. So thank you guys all for your time. You know, let's make this industry amazing.
Thank you, Jacoby. I think it's really important that we really focus on the cannabis and tech sector with regards to things like STEM programs and things of that nature, because people are going to want to get involved on different levels, not just becoming dispensary owners, not just becoming grow operators. People are going to want to innovate newer, faster things for the cannabis industry. Once this goes legal on a national level, on a global level, that's a whole nother story. So shout out to Jacoby and shout out to On the Rebel and a lot of these other cannabis groups really looking at the bigger picture of what's coming for the cannabis culture. So to keep the show going, to keep y'all lively, how y'all doing out there in New York? Everybody alive and high out there? Alright, that's what I like to hear. Next up, we have another good friend of mine, Arnaud Dumas Derali, the Chief Strategy Officer of the Blink Group, a vaporizer company based in NY by way of France. Arnaud! Oh, I love this shirt. Eat, sleep, vape. Arnaud Dumas!
Hello, thank you very much for the intro. Hello, everyone. How are you? I'm not hearing you anymore. Come on, make some more noise here, guys. We're all in this together. Eat, sleep, vape, repeat. That's what we're here for, guys. Come on. All right, so I'm going to make this really quick because actually it's my son's 3rd birthday right now and they're doing the cake, so I'm getting my ass kicked by my wife. What we need to understand is that New York City is the world's biggest consumption city of cannabis. Number 2 is Karachi, Pakistan, half the size of New York City. We need to be united in any lobbying efforts, in everything that we do for the industry here, guys. We need to make some noise. Come on, make some noise. I'm not hearing you. Come on. It's all about education. It's all about people understanding the benefits of cannabis. We have a lot of people here, a lot of people who understand exactly what we're doing, who understand the benefits for health, for justice, for all areas of the society. And to our fellow politicians that are here, I want to make sure that you guys understand the taxes from cannabis can help all of you get elected. Put that in your heads. Put that in your heads. Please listen to us. We need this. This is a life-changing product. There are lots of budget deficits across America, and especially in New York. The budget on education went up 3.9%. Who's going to pay for that? Let cannabis pay for it. Legalize cannabis. Legalize cannabis. I want to hear you all say it. Legalize cannabis. Legalize cannabis. Legalize cannabis. Legalize cannabis. Thank you everyone for supporting everything we do. Please contact your local officials. Ask them for lobbying efforts. Ask them, meet them, tell your stories. We all have stories about legalization. We all have stories about the way cannabis improved our health. Please do so. Please do so. I'm going to leave you on that note. Thank you everyone for being here. I love you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Arnaud. Thank you so much. He's right. We need to really vocalize and be able to manifest legalization more than just in our heads and more than the reality that we see. We need to really start saying the things that we see in this world. We want to legalize not just for the benefit of us, but for the benefit of better communities. The next MC, if you don't know him, you're definitely going to know him today.
No, not like that.
He is a very nationally renowned lawyer.
I was a
He is
supervisor.
the vice president of the
I was
Cannabis
a
Cultural
supervisor
Association Board.
underman.
He is the founder and host of In the Know 420,
April 20.
Joseph Bondi. Ladies and gentlemen.
Just missed this.
So much. And for those of you that don't know, In the Know 420 airs every Friday live on Facebook, and my co-host and executive producer, Jacob Plowden. A round of applause for Jacob. And for the Cannabis Cultural Association, and for all of you who are here today. If you haven't taken a moment to say hello to the person next to you and tell them your name, can you do that, please? Just let everyone around you know who you are, because we're going to foster this movement through communication and conversation, right? That's how we're going to make a difference. When I started practicing law 23 years ago, there wasn't much of a movement. We then had medical marijuana. We had the need to frame it as care for people who were terminally ill and at the end of their life. And I'm pleased to say we shift that frame. And today we have access to medicine for so many people, but there's so much more work to do. When I entered this movement, I entered it because it was unfair to imprison people for marijuana-related offenses. It was unfair to target people because they were smoking pot. It was unfair to use marijuana as a vehicle, right, for social control. And we know how that was being used and whom it was being used against. Are you with me? Now look at us. Look at this movement of people who have a voice and who have power and who can vote. Now I'm honored today to be able to introduce to you some of the most remarkable advocates and activists. And you know what? But for marijuana being criminalized and prohibited for so many years, a lot of these talented and eloquent voices wouldn't have had the opportunity to develop those voices. And so I want to introduce today, right now, our very first speaker under my watch, Ronnie Soto. And Ronnie Soto, for those of you who don't know it, is really an extraordinary fellow. One of the founders of the New Jersey Cannabis Commission. He is involved in vice president of CannaGather, a local group here in New York that happens to have really fantastic educational events. He has had the distinction of being on In the Know 420 as our very special guest. And without any further ado, I want to introduce you to and give the mic to Ronnie Soto. Ronnie, thank you.
I love you, Joe Bondi. If you haven't heard it enough, you need to look up In the Know, one of the best shows out there. Joe really knows how to get everything out of you. So you gotta check that show out if you really want to get educated. So we have a platform in New York City called CannaGather, New Jersey. And it's our attempt to make the industry accessible to New York City. It's a very cheap event, but we bring in some really top tier talent. And we want you to be a part of that. We want you to come to these events because, as many of the speakers have said it before, they're not expecting you to be a part of the cannabis industry. They're not expecting that. So you have to get in the way of that. This is an opportunity to create a movement to involve social equity. I know we have groups here that are representing social justice at a very high level, and you need to check those organizations out. We have organizations that are fighting for patients, and you need to check those organizations out. Donate a couple of dollars to these people so they can advocate. But when you talk, one of my main goals, although I'm a patient, is social equity. We deserve a piece of this pie. It's been built on our backs. We know that the Nixon administration intentionally targeted us. So now, you guys are very smart people. You have information at your fingertips on these phones. Get educated and come out to these events and meet this family. Everyone that's come up on this stage has played a part in me being where I am. So if you're looking to be a part of the cannabis industry and take up space and not let it go completely corporate, you need to get involved. So you need to have a business plan. You need to start making a team. You need to start getting organized. That's all you gotta do. And if you need help, the New Jersey Cannabis Commission is here to fight for social equity. We support every single organization, but one of our main goals is social equity. We need to have a piece of the pie given to us. And if they're not gonna give it to us, we need to show up to city council meetings. You guys need to show up to your mayor's office and you need to say, hey, listen, I want a part of this, and this is how it should look. And we can help with that mission as well. So check us out at the New Jersey Cannabis Commission. We're constantly having advocacy events. We just had the opportunity to have an event in Atlantic City with the mayor of Atlantic City, Frank Gilliam, and he wants you guys to come to Atlantic City. He wants the cannabis industry and its diversity to come to Atlantic City. So do your research and get out to Atlantic City. Do your research and get out to somewhere in New Jersey because it's about to be live. So I love all of y'all. Huh? We're in Atlantic City. Talk to me later. At New Jersey Cannabis Commission, you can reach out to us. At CannaGather, you can reach out to us. I would reach out to every single organization that you have seen. Women Grow is a fantastic organization. On the Rebels, a fantastic organization. You need to look at everyone. Everyone has something to offer, including us. So I love y'all. Minorities for Medical Marijuana, of course. The resources are here for you. And Joe, I'm almost done. I promise, I'm almost done. So I taught 4 years in Harlem. And one of the main takeaways from being a teacher in Harlem is that there's lack of resources. And the resource isn't a computer necessarily, it's information. There's a lack of information. You have all these organizations advocating in New Jersey and New York. They have all the information, trust me, because I use it all. I use it all, I share it all, because it's important. So if you don't know what to do, talk to these people. They will help you.
Ronnie Soto, awesome. Everybody, cannabis touches everything, right? Legalizing marijuana is one of the best ways that we can end mass incarceration. You want bail reform, legalize marijuana. And you want social justice, legalize marijuana. You want people to be employed happily with careers, legalize marijuana. I have the privilege of introducing our next speaker, a friend of mine, somebody I hold in really, really high regard, Tanya Osborne. Tanya, come on up here. Tanya Osborne is the New York City Bronx market leader for the group Women Grow. Who's heard of Women Grow? All right, Women Grow is amazing. They're a keystone group, all right? They are literally bringing this movement on behalf not only of women, but on behalf of all of us. And Tanya, it's amazing to have you here with us. You're extraordinary. Thank you for everything you do.
Hey everybody, where's all the ladies? That's right, ladies, you need to stand up and let us know that we're here, okay? My name is Tanya Osborne. I'm the New York City and Bronx market leader for a wonderful organization called Women Grow. Anyone ever heard of Women Grow? All right, well then you need to. I want to say thank you first and foremost to the organizers of this amazing event, and I'm so proud of each and every one of you for being here and showing up and showing your support. A little bit about Women Grow. Women Grow is a national organization, and what we do is we encourage female leadership in the space. So if you want to grow a business, you need to know Women Grow. If you want to be an executive in cannabis, you need to know Women Grow. If you want to be a leader in the cannabis industry and you are a woman or a man, you need to know Women Grow. So people ask, like, if you're an entrepreneur, why is advocacy so important? You know why it's important is because it affects our businesses. If you have a cannabis business and you're fighting against legalization, it affects your business, okay? And if you are a woman and you're a family, or you're a mom, it affects your family. We all know that there is a disproportionate amount of arrests for Black and brown families. So we have to address it, and as moms, we have to protect our children, okay? It also, legalization affects our lives. If you're a consumer, if you're a patient, if you're a parent, legalization affects your life, so you have to do it. And legalization has to be done correctly. We cannot just have blanket legalization. It has to be done the right way. There has to be multiple entry points for all types of businesses. So if you're a small business owner, there has to be a place for you. We cannot be pushed out by large organizations. There has to be expungement of cannabis-related offenses. It has to happen. And also, we have to have licenses to be able to do business in this space. I don't feel you have the right to benefit from this green rush if you're not out here fighting for legalization. You have to stand up. Everyone has to be a part of this, and we can do it together. Every single month, Women Grow, part of the New York and Bronx market, we have events every single month. They focus on legalization, professional development, what to do in the space if you want to grow a business. And what it really does is it creates this space, this community for you to play off of one another. We know as women, how we know where to go is because we heard it from a friend. So if you want to go into business with people who you know and you trust. So as I wrap up, a mis comadres en la lucha hacia la legalización, a las mujeres que piensan que nadie le está escuchando, Women Grow te apoya. Okay, si ustedes mujeres están negociadoras, líderes, ejecutivas, doctoras y madres, juntos podemos cambiar la estigma y protegemos mis familias. Thank you so much. Women Grow Rock. See you out there.
Thank you so much, Tanya Osborne. Amazing Tanya Osborne. You got to go to the Canna Gather events. You got to go to the Women Grow events. You got to go to the Cannabis Cultural Association events, right? Because this is where you meet the thought leaders. This is where you meet the people like Tanya, like Ronnie, who are really leading this movement and getting out the message. But since everyone is here, you can also go talk to them freely. Our next speaker is a person who is dear to me. He, too, has been a guest on In the Know 420, the podcast. In fact, if you check us on Facebook, you'll see the episode from a few weeks ago with myself and cannabis archivist Todd Hinden. Todd does something really amazing. He started out of the box a few years ago and said, I'm going to archive the cannabis movement. I'm going to archive the people who are speaking and who are making the change. I'm going to record this as it's going on in real time. And he is perhaps the greatest. He is the greatest collection of cannabis-related archives. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you cannabis scholar Todd Hinden. Here he is. A round of applause for Todd Hinden.
Thank you, Joe. Let's hear it for CCA. Woo! Yeah, folks, we got a really great turnout this year. Thank you, everybody, for really coming out. It's awesome. But I'm not going to bore you with all the politics because you've heard it so many times. I just want to tell you about our social group, and we're inviting you out to our meetings. May 11th is our next biggie. If you want to go to a website or do your phone thing, go to highny.com. Join up, it's free. Most of the events we do are free. There's some we do for money, but you'll have to come find out why. We're helping the community to communicate. So in the Great Big Apple, if anyone out there needs a medical card, wants to get one of those legal purple and white cards to have legal cannabis, go to our table, sign up, and we will help you get a medical card. There's now 11 conditions, and there will be a 12th one. We're going to Albany on Tuesday. Come with us. We're going to go to Governor Cuomo's desk and hopefully get a meeting, and if not, we're going to bother the shit out of him. We're asking for PMS to be added to the conditions to help the women that need relief. And we're tired of the oxycodone dilemma. We all know the drill. We're done. I'm an ex-addict. I used opiates for years because of my damage. No more, folks. Cannabis is the cure-all, okay? No more oxys, no cyclobenzaprines, none of that crap. Big Pharma can do that, okay? So we're asking you all to get educated. Come to our meetings, pass with your family. We're kid-friendly. Learn what cannabis is, learn what CBD is, learn what hemp is. Where's Joy? That's for you, baby. Learn what hemp is. Talk to Joy. We have a lot of great vendors in the back. Go to the booths, talk to them. Okay, we're here to help educate. Thank you for your time. Let me find out where Joe is. Okay, one last thing since we have another minute. If you get a chance and that social media thing, and you have any pictures, send them to highonwhy.com. We'll share it with the world. And if any of you want or come to our meetings, have anything to put into, like any ideas at all, party, concert, music event, if it involves cannabis, let me know about it. Okay? So Joe, come on up. We got another great person. Thank you everybody for your time today. Thank you CCA. Where's Steve Bloom? Thank you Steve for all the hard work, all the volunteers. It's here for the sound and light guys. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Todd. It's amazing. Amazing. We have a number of people, old people in the movement. I've learned they call us like the true OGs, right? So I have got somebody coming up who is the true OG of the marijuana legalization movement in New York. He's a political person. By now, many of you will know who I'm speaking of. And for the past number of years, the state has been involved in the question of whether to legalize medical cannabis, the enactment of the medical cannabis law, the Compassionate Care Act, the expansion of that Compassionate Care Act to include more and more conditions like PTSD and chronic pain. But a lot of that couldn't have been done. Oh no, I have to find my next card. I'm going to introduce Richard N. Gottfried. Dick Gottfried is an assembly member in the state of New York. He represents State Assembly District 75 in Manhattan. And as I said, he really is the original voice in the legislature for the decriminalization of cannabis. And so if I could have a round of applause for Dick Gottfried, who's come and joined us today. Dick Gottfried, everybody, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, my pleasure. So, you know, when he said I've been involved in this for a number of years, I introduced the bill to decriminalize possession of small amounts in New York in 1975, and it became law a lot faster than anybody thought. It became law in 1977. Now, I introduced the bill to allow medical use 20 years later. That bill took 17 years to become law, so it took a while. But once people began to see that medical use worked in other states and that medical use was really enormously valuable to a lot of seriously ill people, ultimately it became something that was unstoppable in Albany. Now we're working on legislation to allow adult use. And our state senator from here in Manhattan, Liz Kruger, is carrying that bill in the Senate, and Assembly Member Crystal People-Stokes from Buffalo is carrying that bill in the Assembly. Now, we've made progress on medical use. As many of you may know, when the law was first enacted in 2014, the law was pretty tight. The regulations were even tighter. Fortunately, the Cuomo administration has pretty steadily been making regulations and signing legislation to make the medical use law a lot more open and reasonable. We've still got a ways to go. We've still got to pass my bill to eliminate the list of conditions so that medical marijuana is a choice between you and your doctor, which is how medical decisions ought to be made. We are making real headway on adult use. More headway, I guess that's a pun, than I would have guessed at this point. But because of the success of the law in so many other states, more and more, not just progressive elected officials, but genuine middle of the road, and I suppose even a couple of conservative elected officials are getting on board. It probably doesn't hurt that a lot of people have realized that you can make a lot of money from adult use of marijuana. And, you know, somehow in this country that tends to move issues forward. So we are really moving forward. All of you are a key part of why we are moving forward, because it is the large number of ordinary people across this country speaking up, talking to their friends, talking to their elected officials. That's what's going to bring about this change. So congratulations to all of you. Thanks to all of you for the persistent work that all of you have been doing. Thank you.
I want to thank the coalition partners, the people who really are here, the activist groups that let this happen. First off, big thanks for the Cannabis Cultural Association. Round of applause. Cannabis Cultural Association, 1,140 people strong at this point. Right? You want to join the Cannabis Cultural Association, go to the website, www.cannabisculturalassociation.org. But this group, as you know, is so instrumental in everything we do. The Drug Policy Alliance, everyone put your hands together for the Drug Policy Alliance, one of the coalition partners in SMART New York, which is our marijuana regulation taxation bill. Empire State Normal, hands together for Empire State Normal. And for High NY, for those of you who have not been to a High NY event, you should check it out. Their meetups, they're fantastic. High NY, Michael Zaid said. You guys get stickers. Students for Sensible Drug Policy. A round of applause for the students that are behind sensible drug policy in the United States of America. Cannagather, a round of applause. We saw Ronnie from Cannagather. Make sure you go to your next Cannagather event. Hemp Industry Association, I'm going to point there. There's Joy Beckerman, the president of the Hemp Industry Association. We love HIA. We love what you're doing. We love how you're fighting in the courts and pushing this movement. Thank you so much for being a coalition partner. Patients Out of Time, POT, POT. Patients Out of Time is having an amazing ongoing legal educational and medical educational seminar in Jersey City, the 10th, 11th, and 12th of May. There are going to be remarkable speakers. If you're a lawyer, you'll get continuing education credit, a doctor as well. So a round of applause for Patients Out of Time. The Green Party. Guess what the Green Party is trying to do in New York, everyone? Any guesses? A rebel-minded society in the New York Minority Alliance. All of our coalition partners, big thanks to you, much praise to you for everything you do in allowing us to be here and to have this moment, as did our sponsors. Let's thank our sponsors. Sensi Seeds, everybody. A round of applause for Sensi Seeds. Right? Etain Health. Anyone from Etain? A round of applause. Etain Health is one of the registered organizations in New York that is licensed to dispense cannabis, cultivate cannabis. Remarkable group of people, women-owned. I heard it over here. Round of applause for Etain Health, everybody. Where is Michael O'Malley? Michael O'Malley, the ubiquitous Michael O'Malley, who's the owner of Curved Papers. Who knows Curved Rolling Papers? Curved has taken the scene by storm. They're really remarkable. They're a little bit curved. For those of you that used to use boats to roll your doobies, you can now use the Curve. Major thanks for Michael and Curve Rolling Paper. And Flower Power Coffee Company, Leighton Knowles. There he is with the flower, the power. You can get your CBD-infused coffees here in New York, Caffeine Underground, am I correct? So say hi, everybody, to Leighton Knowles. Take pictures with him. And thank you, give much thanks, again, to our sponsors. It's amazing, amazing to have you here. We now have a union representative, Stuart Applebaum. If you would please come up to the stage. We have Stuart Applebaum. We spoke earlier. He is here on behalf of the RWDSU. He is holding down the union presence here. And again, legalizing cannabis is important to our unions as well. Am I correct? Both with respect to employment and testing on the job and being able to maintain one's employment and being able to utilize cannabis as a medicine without any kind of repercussions. And so without further ado, here he is.
Oh, no, no one else. You can sign it like in the corner, like right here or whatever. Just in the corner.
Good afternoon,
Michael Webb. I'm the president of the Retail, Wholesale, and Department Store Union. And I want to tell you why I'm here today and why the members of my union are here today. We represent retail workers, supermarket workers, car wash workers, and we represent cannabis workers in New York and across the nation. We are a progressive union, and we are committed to social, economic, and racial justice. We marched with Dr. King. We campaigned for marriage equality. We campaigned for transgender rights. We fought for $15 an hour minimum wage. We opposed stop and frisk. We have joined the fight against mass incarceration. We work to ensure that working women and men are treated with dignity and justice and respect in the workplace and in society. We fight for immigrant rights. And I am proud that the RWDSU fought side by side for years with patients, community members, and advocates to bring medical marijuana to New York State. And the RWDSU is totally in support of the legalization of adult cannabis. I have no doubt that recreational cannabis, adult cannabis, will soon be legal in New York, as it should. I have no doubt. We have become so mainstream that candidates for office who were nowhere to be found in the fights in the past, who did nothing to support us, now feel obligated that when they decide to run for governor, that they have to show up. And they are here to ask for our votes. We welcome them. It would have been nice if they were involved in the fight for years with us. But I don't care if they're Johnny Come-Latelys or Cynthia Come-Latelys. At least they're here now. The criminalization of marijuana has resulted in racial and social injustice because of its disparate enforcement. Criminalization has denied the use of cannabis as a tool in the war against opioid abuse. And we need to make sure that when cannabis is legalized, that workers in the industry are treated with dignity and respect and have a union voice. Friends, sisters and brothers, the sooner cannabis is legalized in New York, the better. Thank you all.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Stuart Applebaum. And you know, a lot of people have come lately to the revelation that cannabis should be legalized. John Boehner, right? Our Speaker of the House, former Speaker of the House, who spent a lot of time enforcing and supporting criminalization of marijuana use, has now joined the board of directors of a cannabis company. Go figure. But you know what? We didn't like it when people called us names, right? So we shouldn't call people names. We should be happy that people are beginning to listen to our well-reasoned, honest arguments. And we are on the side of right. We are on the side of right. When people go low, we get high. When people go low, we get high. When people go low, we get high. Any news, any revelation on our net speaker? We've got an extraordinary net speaker. It's the chief. Chief who? Ah, we have our next speaker coming on up here. Come on up. It is King Ross Pedro. Come on over here, man. And he is an entertainer. He's an icon. He's an extraordinary guy. And he is going to give us thanks and praise and blessings, right? And you're going to sing for us? You're going to perform for us? Awesome. Everybody give it up. King Ross Pedro, give it up. Here you go.
Yeah! Rastafari! All the ganja people out there, raise your hand. Raise your hand, we say. Legalize it. Born our wickedness in high low places. Genesis 1:29. Yeah, he gave all seeds to man. Yes, man, and the weed for food, I said. Genesis 1:29. Yeah! Rastafari! Run the track. Selassie I live. Smoke it, Selassie I. Smoke the ganja. Smoke it, my brothers, for life. You know it. The ganja's already hitting it. Yeah! What we do? What we do? What we do? Smoke up the sense. That's what we do. That's what we do. We burn Babylonian with the smoke right through, right through, right through. Hey, no one can stop this marijuana food. Can't stop this marijuana food. It is from Ali Selassie and it's the holy truth. What is it? What is it? Marijuana no make you scared, make you stronger than a bear. Like a lion, never afraid. You keep your meditation in a long distance way. It is the power of all nations everywhere. You keep the power of all baffling away. You keep your ganja and your Bible straight. To highly Selassie highway. And you will vanish them evil away. Smoke the ganja, put it to the air. No police boy can stop this here. Smoke it in the car, in the street here. No Babylonian can stop this here. It is for meditation, it's no high thing. Burn alcohol, burn heroin. We keep the meditation to the Almighty King. Highly Selassie give us smoke of the sensing. That's what we do. That's what we do. Richard, the born Babylonian with the smoke right through, right through, right through. Hello, no one can stop this. Hey, marijuana food. Can't stop this marijuana food. It is from Ali Selassie and it's the holy truth. Mi gente, marihuana me tiene feliz. Siempre en ambiente. Cuando la fumo me siento caliente. Con mi meditación me siento ardiente. Siempre rezando a rey a mi gente. Yo tranquilo, siempre presente. Con mi marihuana y fume yo ahí. Hasta en Jamaica, siempre feliz. La marihuana siempre te tiene bien, bien feliz. Fumo en la tarde, en la mañana. Dame marihuana, paso a mi hermana. La marihuana es un cabana. Te pone meditación y quita todas las balas. Fumo ese sense, lo quemo así, lo quemo así. Quemando Babilonia, yo lo quemo así. Comida marihuana, no la paran aquí, no la paran aquí. Es Ali Selassie, el Holy Trinity. Yeah! Selassie! Blessed in the name of the most imperial majesty Emperor Selassie I. Yes, May 5th, 1941, Ali Selassie took his land from the Italians. Yes, 5 de Mayo. El Puebla, la Puebla, tú sabes. Yeah! Smoke of the sense. Come on, cancel. Hey, hey, smoke of the sense. That's what we do. Come on, let me see. Hey, we burn Babylonia with the smoke right through, right through, right through. Come on, hey. No one can stop this marijuana food. Yeah! Big up to all my people out here, respect though. Yeah, love, marijuana, paradise, movie. Big up to everybody out here. New York City, legalize it, alright? We smoke up this sense. Hey, that's what we do. That's what we do. We burn Babylonia, and that's the holy truth. Yeah! Holy, 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 holy. Respect though. Yeah, you wanna hear it again? Smoke up this sense. Hey, that's what we do. That's what we do.
We gun Babylonian with the smoke right through, right through, right through. No one can stop this. Hey, marijuana food. What is it? Marijuana to make you scared, make you stronger than a bear. Like a lion, never afraid. You keep your meditation in a long distance way. It is the power of all nations everywhere. You keep the power of all passing away. You keep your ganja and your Bible straight. To highly Selassie Yahweh. And you will find it, the evil away.
Get up for Ross Pedro, everybody. Everybody, that's amazing. We all have so much, each of us are so interconnected. There are so many different things we do to push this movement, right? Some of us are musicians, some of us are activists, some of us are advocates, some entrepreneurs, some are bringing the political message. And right now we have somebody who has captured the hearts and minds of quite a few New Yorkers. Somebody who many of you may have known as a performer, an actor in Sex and the City, who's here with us, a gubernatorial hopeful. Cynthia Nixon is going to come and speak to you and talk to you about the need for legalization of marijuana in New York State. I'm honored. I have the pride, the joy, the honor of introducing her. There she is, everyone. Round of applause. Let's hear it for Cynthia Nixon.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Union Square. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I'm Cynthia Nixon, and I'm running for governor of New York State. And I don't know whether you heard this or not, but I want to legalize cannabis in New York State. And I want to do it first and foremost because it's a racial justice issue. If you are Black or Latino, you are 10 times more likely to be arrested for cannabis than if you are white. And that's not right. That's not what we believe in New York. And that's not what we should believe in the United States of America. It will follow you for the rest of your life, that arrest, and it will make it harder for you to get a job, and it will make it harder for you to get a place to live. And if you are undocumented, it will put you in the crosshairs for deportation, and we don't believe in that in New York State. Cannabis, arresting people, particularly people of color, for cannabis is the crown jewel in the racist war on drugs, and we must pluck it down. We must expunge people's records. We must get them out of prison. And when I am governor, and when we legalize cannabis here, we will be sure to prioritize those communities of color for the licenses to sell cannabis. That's one of the reasons I'm running for governor, including better schools, including more affordable housing, including fixing our subways. If you believe in these things, I want you to go to CynthiaForNewYork.com. I want you to donate. I want you to volunteer. And most of all, I want you to vote on September 13th. This year, with Donald Trump in the White House, we don't just need to elect more Democrats. We need to elect better Democrats. And that is why I am running for governor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cynthia Nixon, for being with us. Thank you. We've spoken all day long about the importance of registering to vote, getting out to vote, getting out your message, right? This is the way that we ensure that the people who are in office are voting on our behalves, all right? Everybody, we've got a couple amazing guests coming on up. We're taking a little bit out of order. Let me see who we've got right here. I think I see him. Here's a gentleman I met a few years back when he was involved with Legalize Now New York. I met him there. He's another true believer. Rafael Espinal, is he over here? Where's Rafael Espinal? Here he comes to the stage. Our city council person, but he's another real deal, true believing guy, because as I said, I met him when I met Jimani Williams, and they were involved literally in bringing the message years ago, and they would come and travel to our PAC meetings, and they would speak about legalization. Rafael Espinal, city council person serving Brooklyn, am I correct? And thank you so much for being here. Big round of applause, Rafael Espinal.
Thank you so much. Is Brooklyn in the house? That's right. Oh, holy cow. So I'm Rafael Espinal. I'm a city councilman from Brooklyn, and I've come to this parade many years over because I believe in the cause. We must legalize cannabis now. It's important we stick together, organize, make sure that we're getting our voices put together so that the governor can hear us. There's no more, not another year can go by that we continue putting people in jail, that people continue to feel like their rights are being infringed upon. This is the year that we have to legalize marijuana. So let's make it happen. Legalize marijuana.
Thank you. Brevity is the soul of wit. That's what they say. I gotta work on that. Rafael Espinal, amazing Rafael Espinal. Now we've got a treat. We have a musical treat. We have a Guyanese singer, and he's going to sing a medley of reggae songs, Bob Marley songs. Ishmael Levy. Is Ishmael Levy ready? Do we need another minute or two for Ishmael Levy? Ishmael Levi. Excuse me. This is amazing though. Like I said, we got so many people that do so many things. And what we're going to do is maybe while they set up, we're going to introduce another speaker and see if perhaps what we can do is we can have Justin Streckles speak, or Jean Van Duzer Lang, actually. Remember I mentioned that group, POT, Pot, Patients Out of Time, before? They're amazing. They're like one of the original advocacy groups founded nearly 20 years ago at this point. Patients Out of Time were one of the plaintiffs, not me, one of the plaintiffs in the most recent DEA rescheduling petition they filed with Americans for Safe Access, pushing the DEA to come to a ruling on cannabis. But it's been my honor and privilege, it is my honor and privilege to stand here, former Normal board member, advocate for so many years. How are you? Jean Van Duzer Lang, oh my God. One of the best parts of this gig is I get the hugs, right? So without further ado, please, a giant round of applause. Jean Van Duzer Lang.
Hi, how are you? So, I've been doing this actually for almost 50 years, which is about a half a century, but it's also just after they started the drug schedule, where they put cannabis in Schedule 1. So the thing we have to do now is deschedule it, take it out of the schedules. I have a picture of me at one of these very marches over 40 years ago when Dana Beal and the Merry Band of Hippies used to do the march. And it's really great that there's more of us here now, but we all have to work together. And that's what we do at Patients Out of Time. We've been doing medical cannabis education for over 20 years. And we really try to bring together all the groups and have everybody's opinion, because over the years, as we've seen more and more adult use states go legal, a lot of times it's really the patients who get left behind. It's the veterans who are now, that's nice that you can walk into a dispensary, but when their medicine is $65 for an eighth of an ounce and they need 2 ounces a month, it doesn't really work out very much because that's more than your rent and food. So we need to free the plant, which is what Patients Out of Time is all about. Get it out of the schedules. You should be able to grow it yourself if you want to. And a lot of people talk about the green rush, and I believe certainly that it should be for sale and even in pre-rolled joints. That's great. But a lot of really big money that was in other things, like oil and hedge funds, have come to really view this as a green rush. And I can understand where all of us who've been doing this for decades might object to that. And a lot of the minorities who feel that, regulate like alcohol. Well, I have a liquor store 1 block away from me. Does that mean you're making money off the backs of the minority communities? So, shops are great, but let's free the plant. It's your plant. Don't let the big guys take it away from you. And we have a table back there with cards. We have a conference in Jersey City, as Joe said. Next Thursday is a policy workshop. So we're inviting all elected officials. Please come to Thursday's policy workshop. We have some really great, amazing speakers, and we'll be getting into all these subjects so we can see why descheduling is the only answer. Thank you.
It's amazing, everybody. Round of applause. Jean Van Duzer-Lang, Patients Out of Time. Before I announce our next act, I would be remiss if I didn't tell everyone that when I'm done, I have a table somewhere over here too, and for today, I am going to give anyone that needs free legal advice on a marijuana-related matter, or for that matter, any criminal matter in the state of New York, free advice. So find me, I'll give you free advice, all right? Come on down. But now, Ishmael Levi is going to be performing for us. The Guyanese performer is going to sing a couple songs for us, amazing hit songs. So, round of applause, please, for Ishmael Levi.
So my name is Ishmael Levi, and my band is called The Chosen Few. We are Ishmael Levi and The Chosen Few. So if you guys give me a little clap like this.
The high and low, walk 'em out to play. your best. Change on my feet, but I'm not free. I know that I'm bound here in captivity. I say, never know what happiness is. Never know what a sweet caress is. Like a clown, I said, I've got to be myself on the ride. In a concrete jungle, where the living is hardest. In a concrete jungle, you got to do your bit. In a concrete jungle, where the living is hardest. In a concrete jungle, man, you got to do your bit. So before I get into this next and last song, I want to introduce you to my band. So on violin we have Miles Gittins. Give it up for Miles. On percussion we have the one and only Spuddy Roots. Give it up, Spuddy Roots. On bass we have, on bass nectar, we have Redlaw, aka Soul for Redlaw. My name is Ishmael Levi. We are Ishmael Levi and the Chosen Few. The Chosen Few is spelled THECHOZNPHEW. We're gonna get to the next one. You can find us on Instagram or Facebook. So this song right here is called Close Your Eyes.
just amazing, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Our next speaker is Justin Streckel. Justin Streckel, for those of you that don't know, is the political director of the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, also known as NORML. He's a federal lobbyist who dedicates about a third of his waking hours to lobbying our elected officials in Congress for change, whether in standalone bills or in appropriations bills. He's an awesome, awesome guy, and he literally is somebody who we see as a future leader in this movement, an extraordinary fellow. Justin Streckel, where are you, Justin? Justin has also got for us today an amazing announcement. Justin Streckel.
Hey, thank you so much, Joe. Hello, good afternoon to everybody out here. It's a great sight. My name is Justin Streckel, and I'm the political director for NORML. And woo! And I'm not going to waste your time telling you what you already know, but I want to give you a little bit of the insight of what's going on right now in Washington, D.C. Because I have the very good fortune of being able to stand on the shoulders of the hard work done by activists and advocates over the last 80 years to change these laws. So give yourselves a big round of applause simply for coming out and saying that prohibition is bullshit. Right now, we look around, there's something in the air, and it's something that's not legal. And what we're not seeing is we're not seeing arrests. Right now, over 20% of this country lives in a legal market where individuals can go from place to place without worrying about being harassed, without being worried about being thrown in jail for having a dime bag in their pocket. That's incredibly important. At the federal level right now, we have the votes to end marijuana prohibition. We have the votes in the House of Representatives. We have the votes in the Senate. What we do not have is the political will and leadership of the gatekeepers in our representative republic. But we're getting there. We're getting there thanks to the leadership demonstrated by your own senator, who took a long time to get there, but he only got there because of the work of committed activists like yourself, committed activists like Empire State NORML and CCA and the Drug Policy Alliance and so many others. So we are right now experiencing the death rattles of prohibition. And in the death rattles of prohibition, what happens next is incredibly important. It's what kind of an economy do you want to see? Do you want to see a concentrated economy with very few number of companies that look more like the people down on Wall Street? Or do you want to see the business owners be more reflective of who's here? So that's why I'm very, very excited to bring up our friends from the Cannabis Cultural Association. We got Jake, we got Nelson, we got Joe, we got Leela, we got Amanda, and I am very, very proud to announce a new partnership that we are entering for CCA NORML, so that way NORML can lend the brand name that is known throughout this country as the leader in this fight for the reform to these young leaders and Joe, so that way they can go around the country, and that way they can carry this fight in a better way in the halls in Albany, in Massachusetts, in Maine, in New Jersey, in Connecticut, and throughout the country. So I want to thank you all so very much for coming out. I want to thank CCA, the Cannabis Cultural Association, and what is now going to also be CCA NORML, and commit all of the support that we can to lift up not only them in their new chapter, but Empire State NORML and the 168 other chapters throughout the country who do the tireless work of reform. There is a lobby day on Tuesday, May 8th. If you haven't signed up, you're fucking up. You need to sign up. The only way we will win is if you are heard. And the only way we will be heard is if you demand it. So thank you so much. I'm going to say free the people. You say make it legal. Free the people. Free the people. Free the people. Thank you all. Support CCA NORML. Support Empire State NORML. Support the Drug Policy Alliance. Support yourselves. Demand reform.
and Streckle, brethren, sistren, it is pretty apparent that we love each other, right? The CCA was forged in closeness, and we've accomplished so much this year. I mean, oh my God, here's the board, here are the co-founders, here's the president, the vice president, our PR wing, everything. Come to our events, listen to our speakers, get out our message, click the button on the website, be a member, be involved, go to our lobby day. I am going to leave you and find my table and start to give free legal advice to those of you that need it, but it's been a complete honor to be here with this audience today and to serve as your MC for this little part of the show. I'm gonna hand the mic to Nelson Guerrero, who I love so much. All of you know our story, right? Another co-founder of the CCA, and he's gonna announce speakers. He's gonna be here. He's gonna thrill you literally for the next hour with everything he knows. Nelson Guerrero, here you go.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, my team from the Cannabis Cultural Association. Thank you, Normal. This is a huge step for the movement, moving this in the right direction. What's going on, New York City Cannabis Parade 2018? Can I get a si se puede? Because it's Cinco de Mayo. Si se puede. Si se puede. Right on. It's with great honor that I get to announce our next speaker from Lake Erie. A gubernatorial candidate who has experience with this medicine, former county executive in Erie County, Buffalo, who is representing the Reform Party this year for governor, Joel Jambri. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, New York City. How's everybody today? All right. Well, you've already heard about all of the reasons why we need to end prohibition. But I'm going to tell you about the politics of it now and how you can be helpful. I spent 25 years in elected office in Buffalo, 7 years as a Democrat, and the rest as a Republican. And I'm going to tell you firsthand that both party leaderships are full of shit when it comes to this issue. I have been involved in this effort for a long time. I want to commend Noah and the entire committee for putting on this event. I believe that right now we are in the fourth quarter, the 11th hour of getting adult use of marijuana passed in New York State. There's one obstacle, my friends. There's only one obstacle, because even Republican elected officials are now starting to talk the talk. They're not all walking the walk, but at least they're talking the talk. But we have one person in New York State who is opposed and has been stopping this effort for 7 years now. And his name is Governor Andrew Slow-Mo Cuomo. He's a little bit slow on this issue, ladies and gentlemen. Very slow. But I'm here today to tell you that the tide is turning. And with your help and your support and your willingness to help get people out to vote, not Democrats and Republicans, the traditional voters, but the non-traditional voters, we have a chance of sending Andrew Cuomo home. But it's going to take a lot of effort and all of your support. I am running not as a Democrat, not as a Republican, but as a candidate who wants to represent the Reform Party here in New York State. And just in a few minutes, you're going to hear from the chairman of the Reform Party, a person we all know and love and respect, Curtis Srila. And Curtis Srila is taking this party in a new direction, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a chance, take a look at the Reform Party platform. I think you'll fall in love with it. So I learned after 25 years in elected office that there's no such thing as a bad speech. So I'm going to cut my remarks short because I've been here since 10:30 this morning. I walked in the parade and I've got a pretty good buzz on right now. So it's time to say goodbye. Thank you for your support, and don't forget to vote, and let's send a message to Andrew Slow-Mo Cuomo. It's time to allow adult use of marijuana in New York State. Thank you very much.
Woo! Adult use!
And thank you so much to our sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be able to be here. Sensi Seed, Etain, Curve Paper, and of course my friends at Fly Power Coffee back there. What's up, everybody? And also a big shout out to our coalition partners, CCA Normal, DPA, Women Grow, SSDP, Empire State Normal, High and Y, Hemp Industry Associations, Gather, Patients at a Time, great event coming up on the 10th, Green Party of New York, the Minority Alliance, of course our friends at Rebel Minded Society. Thank you all so much for coming to this event. You know, the reason I'm here is because this plant saved my abuelo's life. This plant has really given so many patients an opportunity to continue to be here. But let's get the music going again, and it's with great pleasure that I represent 3Pete here, who's gonna sing us a little song.
All right. Well, I thought I was gonna start you guys out with a little joke, because I think that people will be probably a little bit more susceptible to laughing right now. What do you guys think? All right. And can I get somebody to help me adjust this so I can mic up my guitar here? Is that cool? Alright, so we'll start with the joke while we're waiting for this. Alright, so there's this koala bear and he's up in a tree, he's smoking a joint, he's just enjoying life, having a great fucking time. Let's get a little bit of an angle. So this koala bear, he's smoking a joint and a lizard walks by and he smells a skunk up in the tree and he looks up there and he sees the koala bear and he says, "Yo, koala, what are you doing up there?" And he says, "I'm smoking a joint, man. Come and join me." He says, "Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I think I will come and join you." So the lizard goes up the tree, and the koala and the lizard, they're just, smoking joints, enjoying life, picking berries, whatever the fuck was growing on the tree. I don't know. So then the lizard goes, "I got cotton mouth. Can you help me?" And he goes, "Okay. Well, there's a lake a little bit down the way." So he goes, "All right." So he walks over to the lake, climbs down the tree, and he sees an alligator. And he looks at the alligator, and the alligator goes, "Holy shit, lizard, what are you doing?" And he goes, "Oh man, I'm so stoned. I've been smoking joints with the koala bear up in a tree all day." And he goes, "No fucking way." He says, "Yeah." And he goes, "The tree is right down over there, about a half mile." So the alligator goes, "Okay, I gotta see this." So he walks over to the tree, and sure enough, there's the koala bear smoking a joint. So he goes, "Hey koala, what's up?" And the koala bear looks down and he goes, "Damn lizard, how much water did you drink?" "I'm a real cool cat, hanging in this human skin. You wanna know just where it's at? 'Cause you've been asking where I've been. You can find me in my room. It's where I hide away from all the world shit. 'Cause there's a lot of it. Well, senorita, sweet sativa, I think I need a break. What you doing after school? I was hoping maybe we could bake chocolate chip special cookies. And then we'll play guitar so loud the neighbor will scream for us to stop, or she'll call the cops." So this is just a little song that I wrote because I love sativa strains. And these are just some of the thoughts that I have while I'm smoking them. And I'm a real top dog. I'm barking up a little song about a future-telling groundhog, and how he's always so damn wrong. We say he lives in Pennsylvania, and all I really want to know is, what are you people on? To be so far gone, I get chromesthesia from green amnesia, and I just need a break. What you doing in my drug? I was hoping maybe we could make another dope video where I scream into my microphone for social media. 'Cause if you're listening, I'm feet. Too much of the
And I swear to God, if I hear one more idiot person telling me I gotta play the game,
because I've heard it so many times.
I'll just rip my perfect J
And they're perfect all the time.
and blow the smoke in their face. I'll bet you like that taste. Senorita, purple haze. Don't you just love our days? Eating, laughing, having fun, living our simple ways. Should we go on an open trip? Cause I need to get away from this PC bullshit. Oh, cause I've really had it.
Just want to dance around, but I gotta stay stationary with this fucking mic. Alright, well thank you guys. Check me out, 3Pete, that's THR, the number 3 for SEO purposes on Google search. Pete.
No? Oh, okay, this one works. Thank you so much, 3P. And thank you so much again to our sponsors and all our coalition partners. Please make sure you go say hi to them back there. Yeah, my name is Nelson Guerrero. I am the Executive Director of the Cannabis Cultural Association. And this is a beautiful day to see all these people out here for cannabis. Truly beautiful. So I want to bring up our next speaker, Curtis Silva. He is the founder of the Guardian Angels. He is the co-host of Curtis and Cosby. And I got him right here with his team. Thank you so much, Curtis.
That's right. I'm here to speak on behalf of those on medical marijuana because I'm one of them. Because marijuana equals life and a quality of life for tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people who before that suffered in silence. Let me give you a little bit of the litany. Back in 1992, I was sucking concrete over on Avenue B and 6th Street, not far from here. The Guardians and Gambinos had pumped 5 hollow point bullets into my lower extremities. For 2 years, I was on morphine over at Bellevue. You know what a Jones morphine is to try to kick? And yet I needed it to deal with the pain. And the surgeons told me at that time, Sliwa, we put you all back together again like Humpty Dumpty who took that great fall. But years from now, you're going to have internal gastronomical issues that are going to require further surgery. And I said, come on, I'll live to be 200. I'll get a doctor like Trump got to write me up a script to say, I'm invincible. Well, in 2015, those doctors were right. I got diagnosed with colitis, took me down for the count. Then ileitis. Then in combination with that, chronic Crohn's disease. So they had me on hillbilly heroin, oxycodone, for 2 years. And after that, because that wasn't working, it was back to fentanyl, and then morphine. And then when I'm in Columbia Presbyterian and they're opening me up like a tin can over 100 stitches, they end up giving me Percocet with Tylenol, and I had a violent reaction afterwards. And then all of a sudden I said, how about medical marijuana in Columbia Presbyterian? I qualify, I've got chronic Crohn's disease. And they said, we can't give you any of that. No, but you can give me morphine, you can give me fentanyl, you can give me hillbilly heroin, oxycodone, which will mean I'm an inch away from taking a dirt bath with the Grim Reaper again. And they said yes. So even though we're in a state in which there is legal medical marijuana, and across the river there was Shamu Alefe, Chris Christie, who barely allowed for medical marijuana,
Let's stand together for the hundreds of thousands out there who need some relief, who need a good quality of life, who don't need to suffer as I did with projectile vomiting, with nausea, with reflux, with pain, who get chemo, who have cancer, who have thyroid issues, who have a multitude of medical issues. Let's make sure that these people have access to medical marijuana and fight, because if not, it may come your day when you're like Curtis Slewa and you're an inch from taking a dirt bath, and you're gonna need the help of medical marijuana, because it equals life and a quality of life. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, again, for being out here. New York City Cannabis Parade. Can I get a hell yeah? All right, I'm about to bring up Larry Sharp, another candidate for governor here in our state of New York. Can I get a hell yeah, New York? All right, Larry.
Hi, everybody. Hey, I see some signs. I appreciate that very much. Some of you may know that my father was a corrections officer and a police officer here in New York, in the Bronx, where I was born and raised. And he got gastrointestinal cancer in 1979. And when they cut him open and they had to somehow get him to eat and to survive, his cop friends who had confiscated marijuana from people they were busting put him in the squad car and let him smoke so he could eat. This is 1979. This is 1980. This is how long I've been on this train. It's a long time. So when Nixon talked about how she wanted to legalize cannabis, I thought, oh my God, this is great. I have a celebrity endorser. And then I realized, no, she was just copying what I've been talking about for years, which I'm happy about that. That's amazing. I'm very happy about that. But the reality of it is, they say that imitation is the highest form of flattery. Well, Nixon, I am flattered. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. There's more to just letting people smoke marijuana, though, particularly in New York State. There's also letting people grow marijuana and grow hemp, not just to sell, not just to take, but also to grow. Now, I know when you say that, people say, wait a minute, Larry, you can already grow hemp. No, the regulation here makes sure only the cronies, only the big business can grow. No new laws. No new regulation. Hemp and marijuana should be regulated like onions. No difference. If you can grow an onion in your backyard, you can grow hemp or weed in your backyard. If you can grow onions in your farm, your family farm, you can grow hemp or marijuana on your family farm. So it's more important to not just say people can have, but to also say people can grow. And it's not just cannabis, it's also hemp. But I must go one step further. It is not just that. It is also to sell. How am I going to sell my hemp, sell my marijuana? Do I require licenses to do that? If we do that, guess what? The big business again begins to win. No, what I want us to do is I want us to regulate that like a health food store. Health food stores sell good stuff every day. Why aren't they selling marijuana? Why aren't they selling cannabis products? No licensing, no, just like health food stores, no difference whatsoever. There are three parts of this. So what can I do as governor to make that happen? Number one, what I have to do, no matter what, is begin right away, within the first 90 days, to tell the Justice Department, to tell the police force to stop enforcing. It should be the lowest, if not zero priority, period. But there's a second issue. There are people who right now are suffering because they were arrested because they have a plant in their pocket. I must begin pardoning all of those people with possession charges. I must pardon them within the first 90 days. We must pardon and let them know this is a waste of our time and energy. This is wrong, and people are having their lives ruined for no reason. And on top of that, not only must I do that, I must push the issue, push it hard, that we have to deregulate marijuana and it should no longer be a Schedule I drug. This is a huge problem we must break, and someone who's in the governor's pulpit can do that better than anybody else. If you understand, this is not only about let's have adults who want medical marijuana. No, this is about letting us know that cannabis is the same as onions, that cannabis is the same as aspirin, that cannabis is a way of growing our state, it's a way of making people free, it's a way of growing jobs, it's a way of increasing our tax base without increasing taxes, and it's a way of making people happy in their life. What you choose to imbibe in your body, what you own, is up to you. Whether you use that to heal yourself mentally, physically, or spiritually, that's not my concern. And if you believe that to be true, there is only one candidate in November of 2018. That is Larry Sharp for governor 2018. Thank you very much.
So much, Larry. And again, thank you so much to our sponsors, Sensi Seed, E-Tame, Flower Power Coffee. This is a great pleasure that I get to do this next. As a Latino, my parents are originally from Ecuador. I was born here, but I'm the son of immigrants. Para mí, esto, growing up, it was called, la hoja mala. When cannabis got brought up to me, my family, it was marihuanero, narcos. This never had a good connotation for me growing up. And it wasn't until this plant became such a central part of my life and saving the life of my loved ones that I finally was able to embrace this at another level. And the fact that the next person up, the next artist we have up, is also Latino born from Peru, known for his revolutionary style and also a native New Yorker now who resides in Harlem. In just a few moments, we're about to get really, really lit in here, and I know it's not 420 yet, but everyone better be ready to turn up. Can I get another Si Se Puede? Let's legalize this! Because when New York legalizes, just like with alcohol prohibition, that's when all the other states are going to legalize. And then Latin America, the world, we're going to legalize this shit too. But this is a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you again to all our coalition partners in the back. And without further ado, the man of the hour, Immortal Technique, give it up!
Cinco de Mayo, Cannabis Parade NYC, make some motherfucking noise. I'm gonna do a little talking, but not right now. Let's get into some music real quick and then we'll do some check. You ready, Static? Say it all!
Check,
Let's go,
check.
New York! Are y'all out there? I see you motherfuckers getting high in the balcony. I see you. I see you getting high up there. Light this shit up! Yeah. The point of guerrilla war is not to succeed. It's always been just to make the enemy bleed. Depriving the soldiers of the peace of mind that they need. Bullets are hard to telegraph when they bomb and they weave. The only way a guerrilla war can ever be over is when the occupation can't afford more soldiers. Till it has to draft the last of you into the service, and you refuse because you don't see the purpose. Only way to counter the insurgents that are well equipped is to paint the people fighting for freedom as terrorists. Then find a faction looking for foreign investment, install them in power and murder any objections. You can't stop a revolution from freedom, so to beat them off of people, illusion of freedom. When you're done dreaming and wake up, causing for treason, you can see them hiding behind the gun they believe in. These are the trenches in the heart of a war. That's the place the martyr is born. Motherfucking sword. During the night before the start of the dawn. That's the place the martyr is born. Motherfucking sword. Shots are raining in the heart of a storm. That's the place the martyr is born. Motherfucking sword. Guerrilla war when the army is gone. That's the place the martyr is born. Motherfucking sword. Make some motherfucking noise. New York City. This is a beautiful thing that we're gonna do today. Please don't try to do this on Monday and get yourself arrested thinking that you're hot like that. But one day we will be here smoking no matter what the
fuck happens because it's time for some transformative justice. And when I say that shit, I need you to understand what that actually means. It doesn't mean just restorative justice. It's not just about giving somebody their voting rights back. It's wiping away those convictions, taking people out of life sentences who are just there for smoking a plant, for self-medicating veterans that are now hooked on heroin because they can't afford the pills, so it's a $10 bag of heroin or it's some marijuana to take care of the bone splinters and all the fucking pieces of metal stuck in you. That's not right, that's not fair, and we're better than that as a country. Stop putting people behind bars for a fucking plant. What kind of fucked up fascist shit is this? Get the fuck out of here. You ready? There's some people, oh yeah, drop that, man, I don't care. Drop it, whatever. Yeah, Immortal Technique, Poison Bag, yeah, SPCF. Turn it up, yeah, we gon' smoke them out, burn them out. Go get the miles, stand up on the fucking side. We gon' smoke them out, burn them out. Go get the miles, stand up on the fucking side. Brooklyn, New York City's where I'm from, nigga, fuck that. Amsterdam, man, they ride. All of we up, nigga. Back like I was locked up, putting in work, burning through books like Nazis in the Catholic Church. I cursed like Cain when he murdered his brother. Cut your face off and wear it while I'm fucking your mother. I'm Mars old Tony, invented in God of War. If you don't believe in me, I doubt you believe in God at all. I'll breathe smokeless fire to gin time. That'll make you hate the way Allah made you to live life. Like niggas that be bleaching they skin white. Other people's teeth in my hands after a fist fight. I was born with a sixth sense and a swift right. Skin werewolves and rape demons at midnight. Sell your kids into slavery after we murder you. We'll sacrifice them in the same fire we murder you. Barbarian funeral, nigga, you wanna know. Damn, the river buried me and let the water flow. Chaos, mayhem, chaos, slavery, uprise, breaking, breaking, chasing, pandemonium, insurgents, death, murder, with the best murder, pillage, killing, erase history, make them a mystery. Listen. I work with a lot of different political organizations. And whenever I talk to my brothers and sisters that say they're allies on the left, I always remind them of something. That the people of Central America, South America, Africa, I respect a lot of the philosophies that I see, but we didn't actually need someone to come to the dark jungles of Latin America and Africa to teach us the complex concept of sharing. We knew what that was. We know what sharing and collectivism was before Marxism. We knew all of that. We can go back thousands of years about our people and our indigenous culture. And I must say something else. There may have been problems back then, but you know what we never did as indigenous people? We never charged somebody their life savings for fucking medicine. We never tried to put somebody in jail for self-medicating and curing their children of cancer by giving them droplets when the chemotherapy is destroying your child's inside. Get the fuck out of here. We have a right to life. We have a right to this plant. It was put here by God, motherfucker. Fuck you if you don't like it. Get off the planet. There we go. That's it. No more rap. No more talk. Play some music. Let's take it back. Ha! Put your hands up. Put your fucking hands up. Put your hands up. Put your fucking hands up. Put your hands up. Put your fucking hands up. Put your hands up. Put your fucking hands up. From where the gold diamonds are rich on the earth. Right next to the slave castles where the water is curved. From where police brutality's not half as nice. And makes the hood in America look like paradise. Compared to the Western Caribbean slum. African streets with a passport and American gun. But when they massacre people and try to keep it quiet and spend the next 25 years trying to deny it. Off of where they cut their head
Shout out to my Jersey people here.
Let's do it, let's do it.
PX, Queens, Staten Island. Uptown, what up?
Oh shit. Harlem is in here. Is Uptown Manhattan in this motherfucker? I love y'all, man. Be safe going home, man. Be safe going home. We don't want nobody getting locked up tonight. There's 3 places you can always end up whenever you leave your house. The hospital, jail, or the morgue. We don't want anyone here going to any of those places. So when you leave here, please travel in groups so you don't get picked off by these vultures. You know what I mean? Make sure that you protect one another. And make sure you look out for the ladies in the crowd, fellas, for real, for real. There ain't gonna be no disgusting nastiness happening here. You see a nigga acting like Harvey Weinstein, you smack him in the mouth, yo, you know what I mean? Be like, yo, act right. Fuck out of here. 0 tolerance, nigga. Yo. You already know, nigga. Oh, Joey.
Is it full?
Drop it, man. Drop whatever we got.
Shout out to Peacemaker. Shout out to my man Hot. Shout out to Lil Dick.
Oh, Lord Digger.
You already.
Respect.
Legends, my nigga.
Oh, shit. Yeah, really?
Say money, money, money.
Louder. Money, money, money.
Money, money, money. Yeah. It's the rich man's world.
Accommodate living America overseas. Pension for the worker, bigger please. Investment, educate, private settlement. I'm better with Confederate rhetoric from my mansion in Connecticut. Walk close and take hold of the tenement. I twist words like a speech impediment. All we got to the benefit. If not, better get a new job with benefits. While I play golf with niggas to get shell with. New money runs brand new carrots. My old money from the great grandparents. You got grills in your mouth, I manage. I don't ever go by to South Africa. Next baby, your baby, a billion. I own a building. But he's one of my children. That's the shit. Stop poking the whip, Miss USA, suck my dick. Yeah, what? Fuck the law, cause real jail is for suckers. I go to country club, prison, you dumb motherfucker.
It's the rich man's world.
You know my CEO overseas, please. Overthrow governments overseas in a breeze. Politicians in my pocket for a few hundred G's. So if I'm ever in court, my assets are never free.
New York City. Long Island. Connecticut.
What are we doing? Niggas is b-boying? He's about to b-boy up here? Hold up.
Shouts to DJ G.
Bring in all the elements. You gonna cut something? You gonna cut something up for him? Yo, listen.
Oh, you trying to take it to LES real quick, right?
Shout out to LES in the building.
Shout out to LES and the niggas in the building.
You ready?
The Lord.
You ready? You ready to take us there? Let's take it to the next level. Let's take it to the next level. Are y'all ready? Let's count them down from 3. Ready? You ready? Are you ready, motherfucker? Make some noise for my brother DJ Static. This is not... Listen, later on, right before we leave, I'm gonna have him do a special showcase for you. So some of you in the crowd that grew up before hip-hop, you know what I mean? Made that transformation to whatever the fuck people are trying to pass it off as now. This is a real DJ. That means it's not just a person that presses a button on the radio, all right? It's a real fucking DJ. It's kind of like the difference in between a sperm donor and a real father, and the difference is you gotta put in work, motherfucker. That's the difference. You can't just press one button and think that's gonna work. You ready? Yeah, drop that. Are y'all ready? Mosh pit. This is the point of no return. I can never go back. Life without parole. I'm staying shackled and trapped. Living in the hole. Looking at the world through a crack. Man, fuck that. I'd rather shoot it out and get clapped. I'm going too far. Ain't no coming back for me. Auschwitz gas chamber for the Cyclone B. Just like the Spanish exterminating titles. Raping the black and Indian women. Creating Latinos. Motherfuckers made me out of self-righteous hatred. Now you got yourself a virus stuck in a matrix. Suicide bomber. Strapped and ready to blow. Lethal injection.
attention, strapped down, ready to go. Don't you understand? Don't never let me live out in peace. Concrete jungle, guerrilla war out in the streets. Nat Turner with the sickle, pitchfork, and machete. End of the world, motherfucker, you not ready. This is the point of no return. Nobody can stop it. Malcolm Little, what he know? Before Elijah Muhammad, he commented, killed the dinosaurs, changing the earth. They love to criticize, always say I changed for the worse. Like prescription pills when you misuse them. Templar Knights when they took Jerusalem, nigga. And figured out what was buried under Solomon's temple. Al-Aqsa, the name is not coincidental. I know too much government try to murder me. No coming back like cutting your wrist, solving vertically. How could the serpent be purposely put in charge of the country? Genetic engineered sickness spread amongst me. My people are so hungry, they attack without reason. Like a fucking dog ripping off the head and pizza. Immortal technique, treason to the Patriot Act. Come and get me, motherfucker, I'm not coming back. This is the point from which I can never return. And if I back down now, then forever I burn. This is the point from which I can never retreat. Cause if I turn back now, they can never be beat. This is the point from which I'll die 16. Live in the struggle, I know I'm alive and I bleed. So now it can never be the same as before. Cause the place in the front doesn't exist anymore. Thank you. I just want to send a big shout out to my people from the Free Mumia Coalition, Free Mumia. It's been too long. I want to send a big shout out to the people of Palestine, Free Palestine. I know I've seen horrible things going on. And I want to talk specifically also, we have to always remind ourselves that if this country stole Puerto Rico from the Puerto Rican people, and it doesn't take care of Puerto Rico, and it doesn't do anything for it when it's in its darkest hour, then why the fuck does Puerto Rico owe its allegiance to the United States if they're leaving them to starve and die in this situation? I know that we're all obsessed with ignorant comments that are made, with stupid shit that people say in the media, but remember that it's always a distraction because we're not having the most important conversations, ladies and gentlemen. What the fuck is going on in Puerto Rico? What the fuck is going on in our country, ladies and gentlemen? We will continue to fight for the rights of every individual. I love y'all. Thank you very much. We do one more? All right, drop that. Take you out of here. I love y'all, man. Drop that. Oh, shit. Turn it up. Turn it up. Rest in peace to my brother Pumpkinhead. Put your fucking hands up! I'm on the border of Bolivia, working for pay. Treated like a sailor, hope to be attacked to be ready. The spirit of my people is soaring, broken and sweaty. Dreaming about revolution, looking at mother shade. But the workload is too heavy to rise up at all. And if I ran away, no, they probably murder my mom. So I pray to have some peace to when I go to the mission. Process the cocaine and play my position.
Okay, listen, what I'm down is just get me my product before we chop off your hands. For workers misconduct, I got the power to shoot a copper and not get charged. And it would be sad to see your family in front of a fire squad. So to feed your kids, I need these bricks. 40 tons in total, let me test it indeed. Shit, this is good. Pass me a tissue and don't worry about them. I paid off the
Yo, if I come work in the hood, here's my connect, that's what's really good. So I work to the hood. Some fucking crank me up. Scooping out the weed, very classified. When it be in our area. That was the truth. So I say so, I got the new. Give me the yay, yay, like ice cube. Don't play with my yay, yo. You don't stop with the bastard. She will chop in bad. Listen, we say Peruvian, y'all say cold. Peruvian, cold. Peruvian, cold. But we say Peruvian, y'all say cold. Peruvian, cold. Peruvian, cold. Peruvian, cold. Peruvian, cold. Peruvian, 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 Peruvian. For 2 weeks we smoke. Thank you very much. Before I leave, make some noise for my brother Poison, Pet in the building. Best stop Brooklyn, what up? Make some noise for my brother DJ Static. You gonna do something for him before we get out of here? All right. Make some noise for my brother DJ G.I. Joe in the building. Surprise! This is the producer extraordinaire, produced most of the shit that you heard tonight. My brother Southpaw's in the building, the super producer. And my brother Constant Flow, CF. A big shout out to WBAI. I love you, WBAI.
Sure, no problem. Before we get out of here, you're gonna do something for him, a little cut, a little craziness. Thank you very much. We will continue to fight and decriminalize. We will continue to fight for the people that are locked up behind bars. Before we get out of here though, I want to give a special shout out to the people that set up these lights, that set up this stage, to the security. Make some noise for the... Hold up, make some noise for the sound man and all the people that set up everything here. And make some noise for the volunteers that gotta clean this shit the fuck up when y'all motherfuckers leave. Make some noise. And make some noise for the niggas handing out free weed. Alright? Them generous niggas. Generous niggas, man. Are you hear me? Yeah, nigga. You ready? Alright. My brother DJ Static is gonna show you the difference in between a clown that presses a button on the radio and a real DJ. You ready? Are you ready? Rock that! Make some motherfucking noise for DJ Static and DJ G.I. Joe. Make some noise, NYC Cannabis Parade. My name is Immortal Technique. You can find me online, IG, Tech Immortal, whatever. I love y'all. I'll be in the crowd smoking with y'all motherfuckers, man. I love y'all, man. Shout out to Viper Records. We sponsor the hemp car. Runs on hemp oil. Research that hemp car. That shit is real. You find out why they're making y'all niggas burn gas. Yo, who this mic go to? I mean, I could be here all night, my nigga, but they don't want to hear that, man. I love y'all. Thank you very much. I love you.
Can I get another shout out for Immortal Technique? Thank you so much for coming to this year's New York City Cannabis Parade. Thank you to our sponsors, Sensi Seed, Etain, Current Rolling Papers, and Flower Power Coffee for making this possible. Now, we need to free the plant so we can free the people. So when I say legalize, can you say cannabis? Legalize! 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 Next up to the stage, I'm bringing up Christina and Rebecca. Both are members of the New York Cannabis Bar Association. Give us a little legal on the New York cannabis and edibles. Oh, here they come. So give a big round of applause. Let's keep this day going. And remember, you are all cannabis culture because all cultures use cannabis.
What up, New York? How is everyone today? I'm Christina, and this is Rebecca, and we're from the New York Cannabis Bar Association, which is a group of lawyers that are dedicated to the implementation of a regulated, comprehensive comprehensive adult use cannabis program in New York. And in addition to that, we're also for the expansion of medical cannabis in New York so that all New Yorkers who need it can get it. And we're so excited to be here today and to be in full support of the Marijuana Regulation Taxation Act, also known as MRTA or MRTA, which is the current legislation that's active in the New York legislature.
Now, the MRTA is a pretty badass law. It's going to create a sensible cannabis industry in New York State, which I frankly think we can all agree is way overdue.
Yes.
It's going to allow 21 or older to consume cannabis within a regulated framework, creating jobs and tax revenue for the state.
Yes.
Maybe we might actually be able to, fix the subway with the taxes. But just as importantly, this law is going to expunge the record for certain nonviolent cannabis offenses. It's going to create re-entry support for people that are formerly incarcerated. It's going to provide resources to communities that have historically suffered under the prohibition of cannabis. And it is going to require industry diversification so that cannabis in New York State is truly an inclusive industry. And basically, it means that the people that have fought with their lives and the communities that have been the battleground of this drug war, they aren't left behind.
That's right. That's right. We're also working towards expanding medical cannabis because we want to see that program grow. And again, all New Yorkers who believe that they can benefit from medical cannabis should be allowed to experiment with medical cannabis. But you know what? In order to grow that program, we need everyone's help today. We need to hear your stories so we can fight for you.
So if you suffer from a condition that qualifies for medical cannabis in other states but not in New York, we need to hear from you.
If you are a medical cannabis patient who's concerned about losing your access to public housing, contact us. We need to hear from you.
If you fear being certified for medical cannabis because it might affect your immigration status, you need to contact us.
If you're worried about how your status as a medical cannabis patient impacts your parental rights, call us. We want to speak with you.
If you are on parole and you qualify for medical cannabis, but you're afraid for fear of prosecution, contact us.
If you're a doctor who wants to recommend medical cannabis to your patients, but you're prevented from using your own discretion to do so, contact us. We want to talk to you.
And if you are a patient who can't use your health insurance to pay for your medicine, or frankly, if you can't afford the insanely high prices for medical cannabis in New York State, contact us.
We are the New York Cannabis Bar Association, and we're here for you, New York. We want you to contact us, email us, text us, find us at nycannabar.org and tweet us at nycannabar. Don't hold it against us that we failed to bring a banner listing that out. We want to hear from you.
Absolutely. And please don't forget to contact your state senator or your local assemblyman and let them know that you support the Marijuana Regulation and Taxation Act. And if they don't support it, they don't get your vote.
That's right. Thank you so much.